Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the self-titled project from Duma. So this is the debut project of the Nigerian metal duo Duma, who is an act that I'm just becoming aware of as of recently. I've saw this album cropping up on a lot of people's year-end lists, so I decided to check it out, and I'm glad that I did, even though it is probably one of the strangest and most polarizing albums I'd run across in 2020. The way that these guys mix elements of like power electronics and black metal is somewhat awe-inspiring, also pretty stomach-churning as well. Picture if like Fuck Buttons, like from their early material, maybe on like their first record, decided to change up a bit and add in more elements of black metal, and that's kind of where you land on here. Now, I'm not really too well versed in black metal, I guess, overall as a genre, so I'll let you guys decide what influences you think they could be drawing from in that realm, but the percussion on here is just relentlessly pummeling and fast from all of these synthetic drums, and there are tons of layers of just noise that are like layering over these tracks that just give it such a bleak and depraved atmosphere. And to top it all off are the extremely harrowing and throat-piercing vocals from the frontman Martin Kanja. I do like how they kind of like ease you into this sound on the opening track Angels and Abysses. There's a lot of these like ominous moaning sounds that are kind of creeping up and lurking that are spiraling around these machine gun-like drums. All of it is just kind of like hanging around, building tension for the track's progression as it transitions into the second cut, Corners of Nihil, which just turns everything up to the extreme. I mean, the first time I heard this track, I was like, wow, I've actually made it to this point in my life where I'm getting somewhat of an enjoyment out of listening to a guy sound like he's just dancing around screaming in the house that he's just burnt down. I mean, I don't know, there's just not really much else out there that slaps like this, but again, still an acquired taste. I mean, I'm pretty confident that you could put this album on with just about anybody in the room, and they'd probably clear out and be like, what the hell is going on here, dude? Now, the track Omni, I thought was a pretty big standout on the record overall. There is this really amazing switch-up that unexpectedly happens at about 2.5 minutes in, where the vibe changes from this, like, extremely fast-paced, pummeling, progressive metal section into, like, a trap section. I mean, it's pretty odd and jarring and awesome though, the groove that they hit. I do kind of wish there was more elements of hip-hop kind of laced in here somehow, just to kind of keep it flowing a little bit, because to be honest, this record can come off a little bit stiff. And when you get to the track Uganda with Sam, about halfway through the record, things kind of start to shift a little bit in its tone and become a lot more cerebral for the rest of the record's carryout, especially the closing track on here, which is almost tame in comparison to the others, which is hilarious, even just to call any track on this album tame. The instrumental is just extremely anxiety-inducing again, but it just feels a little bit more pulled back, and the vocals overall are a lot quieter, borderlining whispering at some points, which, you know, kind of give off the effect it's a little more tame. So, I mean, you know, it was a very interesting and polarizing listen overall. I mean, again, an acquired taste, I'm sure, for most people out there, even myself even. Because, I mean, after the first run through this album, I was pretty excited about it. I was like, whoa, this is so crazy. You know, I was kind of just like, you know, trying to wrap my mind around how strange it was. But then multiple run-throughs, you know, that effect just washes away, and you're kind of just left with these tracks that, you know, aren't necessarily, like, impressive. But a lot of that original appeal just ended up in the shock factor the first time I heard this thing. Still though, if you're looking to expand your mind with something that's really visceral, abrasive, and odd overall, I do suggest giving this a listen. It is worth checking out. And with that being said, I'm feeling a 7 over here on Duma. Now, unfortunately, since I was so late to the party on this record, both of the variants have sold out. There was like a limited red pressing and then a standard black, so who knows? I'll leave links down below to their label's Bandcamp, so if another pressing pops up, you guys can grab it if you're interested. And if you have listened to this self-titled Duma project before, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share, and if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.